This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Well, yesterday, before any of the fuller picture was known, Alex Jones took to YouTube to rant and rave like some meth-addled purveyor of paranoia. In his 16 minutes of digital video vomit, he covered all of the greatest hits for which he's become known over the years. Wild conspiracies about secret societies and government agreements, spoken about as though he has inside information about things at the highest levels of our government, completely ignoring the obvious and overarching caveat that if they were actually secret, some goofy tinfoil hat in Texas certainly wouldn't know about them. He prattled on for over 16 minutes, fear-mongering about Muslims and using the words liberal and globalist at a seemingly record-setting pace. And for a guy who claims to have the inside track on knowledge about the existential threat that modern Islamists pose to the planet, he sure was having a difficult time deciding whether the goon that he's carrying water for in Donald Trump is selling our souls, safety, and intelligence gathering to the Wahhabists in Saudi Arabia, or being an American hero tough guy in his speech to the region's leaders. The thing that really disgusted me, though, and I think it will you too, is the fact that he was name-calling and disrespecting the children, the innocent victims of this brutal attack, calling them liberal trendies and chastising them for what he imagines are their political beliefs.
And less than 24 hours after President Trump finishes that speech, a big bomb goes off at a pop star's rock concert, bombing a bunch of liberal trendies. The same people, God love them, on average, who are promoting open borders, bringing Islamists in. This is what's coming out of Saudi Arabia one way or the other, and this is their response. A day later is to blow up a bunch of trendies who've already run a white flag up to the black flag of Wahhabism. A bunch of liberals who've already run up the white flag to the Islamists.
So listen, Alex. Number one, the victims of this inconceivable horror were as young as 8 years old. They hadn't run up the white flag of surrender to anything. They were just kids who wanted to go to a music concert and see Ariana Grande. They weren't liberals or conservatives. They didn't have stances on open borders or globalism. These were beautiful little humans with light in their eyes and their entire futures ahead of them. They were fortunate enough to be unencumbered by the burdens and realities of the threats we face in this increasingly dangerous world. They were children. And number two, look, you're filth. You're an unrelenting garbage person. What kind of man, hours removed from one of the most devastating terrorist attacks in a nation's history, jumps in front of a camera to speak ill of the dead and devastatingly wounded? How dare you malign the victims of this terror in order to further your twisted, small-minded narrative of hate and fear and bigotry? For you to name-call and assign blame is sickening. No one asks for a brutal death at the hands of a deranged maniac, even those who may have differing opinions than you on matters of immigration and international relations. And finally, number three, to anyone in Britain watching, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of this. You've suffered an immeasurable and terrible loss, and it serves no positive end when you've got little men like Alex Jones grinding his disease into your already open and painful wounds. Please know that this colossal crackpot doesn't represent the views or thinking of the vast majority of Americans. We have deep sympathy for what you're going through right now, both as individual families with loved ones who are affected and as a nation. It is always inconceivably dark after events like this, and it will be for a while. Just do your best to lean on one another for comfort, while you're ignoring those who would put effort into compounding your anguish. Stay strong, Manchester. Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out my channel and this video. If you like what I do here and you appreciate it, go ahead and click subscribe And if you really like it and appreciate what I do and you'd like to join my Patreon family, there's another link there for that. It's not just for the podcast. It's also for YouTube. Thanks a lot.